Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Federation Nation. I am Anthony, this is Collectors Entertainment Network, and we are going to continue our look at my WWF LJN Wrestling Superstars Memories. This is part 5. We're going to look at December of 1988. I got a decent chunk of figures that month. I got some at the beginning of the month, and then of course I got some for Christmas. But before we get into that, I'd like to ask you to please subscribe. I'd love to have you back. Please comment down below. I'd love to hear your LJN Wrestling Superstars memories. And of course, please share this with anyone you think may like it as well. And please like the video. It helps a lot. Okay, let's get into it. First, I just want to backtrack a little bit. For anyone who hasn't seen it, you can go back and watch the other parts. But what this is my wrestling book. This I have had since I was a kid, and it has all my wrestling cards written out that I wrote back when I was a kid, and it even has a couple of pages where I literally wrote down when I got figures and where I got them. For example, Macho Man, February 2nd, 1988, and then it says GEN, because I got them at the Genevieve's drugstore. And I have another one that takes most of my 1989 figures, because I had run out of room on this, and I had other things written on the back about... I sent away for the subscription to WWF Magazine on March 1st, 1988. I wrote that I sent away for the August 87 and September 87 magazines on June 2nd, 1988, you know, back issues, and I got them on June 8th, 1988. Wow, that's a quick turnaround they sent them. And just some other little things that I sent away for the April-May 1987 WWF magazine on March 8th, and I got it on April 1st. That's a little bit longer, but... So I just wrote down dates because, I don't know, I was a crazy kid. But we're talking about the LJN. So we're going to go over the ones I got during December. I'm going to try and find their debuts and see how they did in their debuts. So let's get into that. All right, on December 2nd, 1988, I got to add another manager to my ranks. And it's kind of funny to see who I put with who because... You know, at first I think Bobby Heenan was my, in fact, I know Bobby Heenan was my first manager. I got him Christmas of 87, and I just put him kind of with all the bad guys. And then it's just funny to see where I put managers as I got them. So I didn't necessarily put them, like I put them with who they had in real life, but I didn't have every manager, so I had to put them with other people as well. So it was just really kind of funny, and we'll look at that. But adding this manager December 2nd, 1988 was Luscious Johnny V. I got. Here he is. Luscious John. And here is his card and his poster that I got all those years ago. December 2nd, 1988. Alright, so here we go with his debut. And it's, like I said, it's funny who you put him with. I didn't have Mr. Fuji yet. So if you look, I have him here with Muraco and Orton. I don't see if I have him anywhere else. I've got Paul Orndorff. He's got Bobby Heenan. Bret Hart and Jesse the Body. They were a tag team because I didn't have the Anvil. Look, with Johnny V. I put him there. I put him with them. And then he got right into the action as a wrestler. In his debut as a wrestler, Johnny V, Brutus Beefcake, Greg Valentine, and Terry Funk versus Junkyard Dog, Roddy Piper, Kirchner, and Savage. But they won. The JYD, Piper, Kirchner, and Savage won against Johnny V, the Dream Team, and Terry Funk. That's an interesting... oh, look, and they had with SD Jones. I guess he was in the corner. Just making sure that everything was okay. So that was December 5th, 1988. No special event, just a house show. All right, let's keep going on. All right, so that event was December 5th, 1988, but I also got some wrestlers on December 5th, 1988. And one was a replacement and one was buying of a variant. So let's get to the replacement. First, I got Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. I got both of these at a store called Cheap John's, which was sort of a discount store. You know, after things were in stores, if they didn't sell, you know, this sort of store would buy them at liquidated prices and then sell them so you could get good stuff, you know, pretty cheap. And they had wrestlers. So I got Jumping Jim Brunzell. Now, I had gotten the Killer Bees, let's see, just really earlier that year from the kid who lived a few blocks away, if you've been watching these shows. I got the Killer Bees, but when but I didn't have the card or the poster or anything for any of them. So when I saw Jumpin' Jim Brunzell new in package, they didn't have B. Brian Blair, they just had Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. I got him, so I eventually got rid of the Jumpin' Jim Brunzell that I already had. So here is the figure. Let's take a look at the card and poster. Okay, here is the card, and here is his poster as a solo. I've got it's all beat up and stuff, but these are the ones I had as a kid. And if you could tell, anyone that was like primarily in a tag team came with these sort of stickers. Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, Killer Bees Tag Team. So there you go. That is Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. With him, it wasn't really a debut because I already had the figure. I just replaced it with a brand new one, so I had the card and poster. So I don't think there was anything special for him. All right, let's get on to the next one that I got that day at Cheap John's. All right, that day at Cheap John's, I also got a variant, probably the most obvious variant there is. And of course, I'm talking about SD Jones. Hawaiian shirt, tropical shirt, yellow shirt, whatever you want to call him. But that's SD Jones. He was actually the second figure I ever got. The red shirt one. Do I have him up here? Oh, yeah. There he is in the back. I got him right there. That's the second figure I ever got. Roddy Piper was the first figure. And then I got SD Jones as my second figure a couple months later. So I had one figure for a couple months. But anyway. Here is SD Jones tropical shirt. Let us get to the card. The card and the poster are exactly the same, per... no matter if you got the red shirt or the Hawaiian shirt. The only thing I do want to show you is, look, it's got the remnants of a price tag, and it looks like it's $2.97. It's definitely 97 cents. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like it's $2.97. So there is the card, and here is the poster, SD Jones. And if you, let's see if we can, it's very faint, and I wrote it faint on purpose. I just wanted to be able to see it myself. I wrote new on there. So I know this is the poster that I got with the new SD Jones as opposed to the old SD Jones that I already got. All right, so there you go. December 5th, 1988, SD Jones, tropical shirt, and Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. All right, now let's keep moving on. All right, guys, like with a few other wrestlers that we have talked about, like Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, I had gotten some figures off of friends and kids at school and stuff throughout, those years that I was collecting. And if I could, and they were just the figures, no posters, no cards, stuff like that. So if I could ever replace them and get new ones, I would. And I got one of those secondhand figures on December 6th, 1988 from a friend at school. So I'm not going to go show you the card and poster because this actual figure that I'm going to show you is not the one I got that day. This is the one I got the following year when I got it brand new. But I did get and add to my federation the character of Captain Lou Albano. Again, I got a figure from a friend. I don't know if I bought it off him for a few bucks or I traded him something, but I got Captain Lou, but not this one. This one I got the following year sometime. But he did enter my federation, so I can at least show you his debut. All right, on December 6th, 1988, the day that I got him is when he made his debut as a manager. You see him right there in the opening match. He started managing Tito Santana. The only good manager, really the only good manager they ever released. Good guy manager, I should say. Because, Elizabeth wasn't a good guy back then, and obviously everyone else was bad. Jimmy Hart, typically managers were bad. They didn't really have many good managers. They did, but it wasn't usually the way they went. Usually managers were for bad guys. So now having Captain Lou, he was all over the place managing people. Just look at it, because he was a good guy. New manager, Captain Lou. Bruno Sammartino, manager, Captain Lou. Snuka and Andre, managed by Captain Lou. Hillbilly Jim, managed by Captain Lou. Was Koko managed by... No, Koko wasn't managed by... Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan managed by Captain Lou. That's strange. I don't wonder why I did that. But I basically just had him manage all the good guys. Who was it? Oh, it was a Hulk Hogan Iron Sheik match. What else did we have? We had a non-title IC title match. Koko B. Ware took on Paul Orndorff, who was the champ. But Paul Orndorff still won. Usually I made them non-title matches when I wanted them to lose or I wanted the other person to win and sort of start an angle, but he just won outright. Hillbilly Jim won. Snuka and Andre won. Bruno won. Tito won. So basically everyone that Captain Lou managed won that night. So there you go. December 6th, 1988 was his debut as a manager. But then I used him as a wrestler on December 7th, 1988. WWF Wrestling. Look, in his debut as a wrestler, Captain Lou took on King Kong Bundy, and somehow he beat him. That's crazy. What was I thinking? But anyway, King Kong Bundy lost to Captain Lou Albano. And here we had an interview segment with Captain Lou. Right there. Interview with Captain Lou. You know, he was new on the scene. We had to figure him out, figure out what's going on with him, and learn about the captain. So that is December 7th, 1988. All right, so those figures were gotten at the beginning part of December. And as we all know, towards the end of December is Christmas. And of course, I got some wrestlers for Christmas of 1988. Now, I don't know how it is in your family or how it was when you were a kid, but I always got to open one gift on Christmas Eve. So I already had, I mean, they were out, they were under the tree, they were just torturing me for a week or so, the wrestlers, and I could tell that they were wrestlers because I could tell the way they were shaped. And let's be honest, I was about to turn 12, so it was sort of more like, I told my mom what I wanted, and she went and got it. These weren't from Santa, these were from Mom and Dad. So they were there, they were wrapped there under the tree, done. So I was able to open one present on Christmas Eve. So looking back, I don't know if I sort of felt the shape and picked this one in particular, like I knew what I was going for, or if I literally just grabbed one and said, yeah, let's try this one. Or maybe I tried to think I was getting another one, and then I ended up getting, I don't remember the specifics, but I do know that I opened this wrestler on Christmas Eve. And that wrestler is Ken Patera. I opened him on December 24th, 1988. So technically that is when I got him. December 24th, 1988. My one wrestler that I got to open on Christmas Eve. And we'll follow that with, of course, a bunch that I got to open on Christmas Day. But first, of course, we have to show you his poster and his card. Here is Ken Patera. Now, what's so funny is that he was one of the only ones that year that got drawn, you know, artist rendition. The rest got the live action pictures. And I opened him first on Christmas Eve. So I was none the wiser that the next day I was going to open wrestlers that had live action photos. And I remember being shocked. But nothing tipped me off because I didn't open one of the other wrestlers. You know, I didn't open, well, we'll get to it. I'll show you who they are. But a lot of the other wrestlers I got that day, or the next day, Christmas Day, were 1988 figures. All of which had live action photos. So when I opened him, I didn't think anything of it. I just got a, an artist drawn poster that was, par for the course at the time. But here's the card. Here is the poster. He didn't make his debut until, obviously, Christmas Day when I had a big event, which I will get into and show you everyone's debut. All right, now we get to Christmas 1988, and in no particular order, I'm just going to go through who I got that Christmas morning. Let's start off with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Here he is. You could see he is beat up. Probably about 10 minutes after I got him, I started losing paint on him. There he is, Ted DiBiase. Here is his card and his poster. And what? Live action poster. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Ted DiBiase. All right, let's move on to the next guy I got that day. All right, also on Christmas Day, 1988, I got Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Here you go. This is the actual 2x4 that I got Christmas Day, 1988. It's been with this Hacksaw for all those years, and it is still with him. Here he is. Pretty decent shape, I'd say. pretty decent. He's got some scuffs on the boots and some on the knee pads and a little bit on him, but he's in decent shape. So there is Hacksaw. Let's get his card. Here you go. And his poster. This was also the first that I started seeing, you know, the French writing too, and the Grand Toys logo, as well as the LJN logo. So I was like, what's going on with these figures? Live action photos, things are in French. They got another toy company there. What is going on? But there you go, Wrestling Superstars, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Here is his card and poster. All right, but we're just going to keep it moving. All right, I got 3 more figures left, but this was the last 1988 figure I got that day, and that is One Man Gang. He is really beat up with the paint loss. Look at him. He was probably taking some slams from Hogan or Andre. But, again, this is the guy I've had since that Christmas 1988. So, I don't really care what he looks like. This is, you know, my one-man gang that I played with as a kid. Here is his poster. I've got his card right here. We've got 2 more wrestlers to get to. They're a tag team, so we'll show you them together. But here is the one-man gang poster, card, figure. All right, let's get on to the last LJN that I got that Christmas. It's 2 figures. It's a tag team. You'll see in a second. All right, so the final figures I got that Christmas. I mean, I don't know if I opened them last or not. Maybe I did because it was the biggest package. But the final figures I'm going to show you from Christmas 88 was the British Bulldogs. Now, of course, they weren't 88 figures like the rest I got, but I hadn't had them yet, and so I wanted them. I think my mom ordered all of this off from the Wrestling Ring, you know, that mail-away thing that you saw in wrestling magazines. So here is Davey Boy Smith, Dynamite Kid, the British Bulldogs. These are the tag team belts that they came with, because these were the last figures that I got with belts. So I got Hogan with this belt, and I still have that belt. I got Sheik and Volkoff with belts, Christmas of 87. One belt, I don't know what happened to, got destroyed. The other belt kind of got destroyed, but I was able to hold it together instead of, I think I just took a hole punch and put it in because I had the other part had broken off, and I kind of darkened it, and that was my Intercontinental belt. And then, of course, I don't know what I did, and for a while I had the other belt. I had the 2 browns and the 1 black, and somewhere along the line, one got destroyed beyond repair, and one got destroyed, but I was able to use it. And then by Christmas 88, I got these guys, and these were the last guys I ever got with belts, and these belts are in great shape. So those are definitely the belts that came with. So there is the British Bulldogs. All right, let's get to the poster. Now, even though this was, you know, still the picture, you know, the drawing, it still was in French. So I don't know, I think if the Wrestling Ring, although I think they were based out of like Maryland or Virginia or somewhere in that area, they must have got all their stuff from Canada, because that's why it's got the French writing. And I have other wrestlers that I got in the following year that I bought in stores, and they were old wrestlers that I was just getting, and they came with like French written on everything. So I mean, I know Grand Toys just took over, but they even found their way into the States. All right, so here is the British Bulldogs. It's a big poster. Let me back it up so you can get the whole thing. Davey Boy Smith, Dynamite Kid. Here is the 1 card. See, it's a solo card. That I find interesting, that it is a solo card as opposed to, I mean, I don't know how it is. The only other tag teams I ever got were Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff, and obviously those guys were released solo. But so if you got like the Killer Bees or the Hart Foundation, did they release a single card? But then if you bought them individually, they had their own cards. You know what? I have that LJN book that I'm going to go through and look, and I'll answer my own question. But if you know it, you can comment down below and let me know, so, you know, I don't have to look it up. But here you go. British Bulldogs, Dynamite Kid, and Davey Boy Smith. So that is it for all the wrestlers I got. We're going to take a look at their debuts in a second. But first, I want to tell you that I had taken a picture, or I had someone take a picture of me on Christmas 1988. I don't have the picture physically with me. My mom has it, you know, at her house in Florida. But I have had her sort of take a picture and send it to me. So I do have a digital version that I will put in right here. Do not laugh. It's 1988. I've got a little bit of a mullet going on, or maybe a lot of it. I don't know. It's 1988, but there I am with my wrestlers that I got in front of the Christmas tree. Just loving life. Christmas 88. Awesome LJNs. All right, enough of that picture. We're going to get into all these guys' debut. Now, it was Christmas. The previous year, I had my first WrestleMania on Christmas because I went from 2 wrestlers to like 9 wrestlers or whatever it was. So I had a WrestleMania. And then I wanted to shift WrestleMania to the spring. So I couldn't wait to have another WrestleMania. So I had a WrestleMania 2 in like the normal time WrestleMania is. End of March, early April. So when it came time around for Christmas that year, I didn't want to have a WrestleMania because I wanted to save that until the following spring. So I had the first ever, and I stole this from the AWA, but I had the first ever Super Clash. Christmas, December 25th, 1988. It was in the Cops Coliseum in Ontario, Canada. I was going international. Let's take a look at this program. First of all, I wrote Merry, with only one R, Merry Christmas to all. All right, let us take a look. Let's just look at the whole card and we'll see the debuts because it's a big event. I mean, everyone remembers Super Clash 88, right? Tito Santana versus the Magnificent Muraco. Submitted to the figure 4. That means Muraco did because he lost. In his debut, Ken Patera beat the Iron Sheik. In his debut, Hacksaw Duggan beat Nikolai Volkoff. Intercontinental match. Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Oh, Mr. Wonderful held on to the title. The Killer Bees took on Jesse the Body Ventura and Bret the Hitman Hart. And it looks like Jesse and the Hitman took the win. Bobby the Brain Heenan versus Hercules Hernandez. I must have turned Herc face at that time. Back to the debut matches. In his debut, the $1 Million Man beat Jake the Snake Roberts. Let's keep on going. What do we got over here? World Wrestling Champs. At the time, going into the event, it was Hulk Hogan was the heavyweight champ. Orndorff was the Intercontinental. The tag team was the Dream Team. I had a stretch heavyweight champion, Randy Savage. I had a stretch Intercontinental and a stretch tag team. Soon will be decided because I was starting to get some stretch. I think I also got stretch wrestlers that Christmas. I got a couple at the beginning of December and I got some on that Christmas as well. So I think by that point I had them all. They are all gone. They got destroyed. I know. I wish I still had them, but they're worth a lot because they were not meant to last, and they all got destroyed. So, here you go. All right. World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Title Match. Brutus, Beefcake, and Greg the Hammer Valentine took on Randy Savage and Corporal Kirchner, the Executioners, and it says new champs. They won. So, that was probably, I think, their second title reign. And there's a stretch match. Junkyard Dog versus Ricky Steamboat. In his debut, Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff versus, in his debut, Hulk Hogan. Again, those are stretch matches because why not? Why not? Here you go. Nothing on this side. A WWF newcomer, Hacksaw Duggan. More stretch wrestlers. Roddy Piper took on George the Animal Steel in his debut. Stretch title, Randy Savage versus King Kong Bundy. Looked like I had all of them by this point. Captain Lou Albano versus Johnny V in a manager versus manager fight. Andre the Giant took on Ted Arcidi and beat him, of course. And Bruno Sammartino took on Terry Funk, and Terry Funk got the win. Next Saturday night's main event will be, and I never wrote it in. That's strange. All right. In his debut, One Man Gang took on Jimmy Snuka, and he won that. Bob Orton versus Hillbilly Jim. Freddie Blassie versus Roddy Piper. What does it say over here? Because I got some writing in here. With One Man Gang was in Freddie Blassie's corner. Gang hit Piper while ref wasn't looking. Piper had SD Jones in his back. So Freddie Blassie got the win over Piper from outside interference by the One Man Gang. All right, tag team match. Big John Studd and King Kong Bundy versus, in their debut, the British Bulldogs. And of course, the British Bulldogs got the win. Coming New Year's, the Wrestling Classic. Happy New Year. And in the main event of Super Clash 1988 heavyweight title on the line, George the Animal Steel versus Hulk Hogan. And obviously Hogan got the win. Merry Christmas. WWF logo in the back. Titan Sports. Look at trademark. All rights reserved. Because you don't want Vince coming after you. So I had to cover my bases even back then as a just about to be 12-year-old. Alright guys, so that is this episode. All the figures I got in December of 1988, a few at the beginning and then a bunch at Christmas. I hope you enjoyed it. I've got 2 more episodes of this to come. 1989 slowed down a little bit because I basically had most of them. So I'll do part 6 will be just the first half of the year, and then part 7 will be the second half of the year, and then that'll be it. I did not get any wrestlers beyond that. I don't have any 1989 wrestlers. I got a lot of wrestlers in 1989, but I never got any of the 89 wrestlers, so that will be it. But again, guys, if you like this video, please like it down below. Click that little thumbs up. And of course, please share this with anyone you think may like it as well. Please comment below. I want to hear your LJN Wrestling Superstars memories. And of course, please subscribe because I'd love to have you back. I've got this. I've got other shows. I've got other things about classic WWF. And I've got other topics that you may enjoy. So please subscribe and come back. All right, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with another Wrestling Superstars Memory show. But until then, have a good one.